Hello everybody and welcome to this Rover 75 video. If you're not subscribed already, please make sure to do so. Like the video and drop a comment below on what your favourite video of this has been so far, and if you have any plans to finish off any cars this summer. She ain't finished, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But I wanted to also run through how much I've spent on this thing so far, because I think that would be quite interesting. Again, not one of those videos where you see me on camera. Unfortunately, I'm quite ill at the moment, as you can probably hear in my voice. And I thought, it would be worth definitely sharing with you guys that I now have this wonderful car back. So, of course, where's she been? Well, there was that unfortunate incident with the front where someone tried to steal a catalyst off the car. God knows why they'd want a diesel catalyst, but here we are. Thank you to everyone that's just said all those kind words, supported me in all the ways you guys have. It really does make this all worth it. And yeah, just absolutely fantastic. What a brilliant community of people we've built on this platform, and in general the Rover community is quite brilliant. But of course we have to go through the other reason why she's been away, which is paint. Now, when I got my sills done the first time, it didn't do a particularly good job. We found that all the front was filled with filler, that one was filled with filler, and the metal arrangement was literally just a patch and then some filler skimmed over. Now, as you can see, I'm still not happy with that. So Tom Force of Force Tuning, big shout out to them, who are the best at this in the country as far as I'm concerned. I'll be coming to you guys when I've sorted out the hole in my pocket that this thing's left me, but we'll go on to that in a moment. Because nobody does it like those guys. I'll include some photos on the screen. I've shouted these guys out so much, but they're so brilliant and they deserve it. Really, really highly regarded by everybody that owns these cars and in general. I just can't wait to, be a customer of theirs and get this up to the standard that I require. So, without further ado, the other bit. So, you can see here all the doors have been painted. Also, that front wing's been painted. If you remember as well, the front wing used to protrude out. It used to be knocked up a bit because I think it's probably been in an accident at some point in its life. But there we are, that's sorted as well. Front bumper's been painted. And then if you remember as well, the rear bumper had been reversed into that many things. It was starting to crack to pieces. As you can see there, all new paint on there. So that took a while. Reason is you probably saw it at Pride of Longbridge, and I'm not going to spare any details like this. I wasn't happy with the paint job. You could see basically what happened is he'd put the colour on, put the lacquer straight over the top while it was wet, and the actual metallic flakes had started coming through. So just a reminder, guys, if they say they can do it in 2 weeks, I don't know anything about paint. If they say they can do it in 2 weeks, they can't do it. So reminder, any good paint person, mechanic, whoever, gives you the timeline in which they can do it. You don't give them the timeline. And that was the mistake I made. So obviously it got rushed last minute for Pride of Longbridge. I did give him I think it was a month. I gave him a month to do it. You guys comment about your experiences. How long would it take to do that job? In your experience, 2 doors, front bumper, rear bumper, sill. How long would it take? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, so I gave it to him for that long. He rushed the living daylights out of it. You had a patchy bumper on the front. Sill wasn't done correctly. Just the usual jazz, really, of just, typical. Not even going to go into that. However, the doors look fine now. Front bumper leaves a bit to be desired. Rear bumper looks okay. They just need a bit of a polish up. But I was so eager to get the car back, and because I haven't had it in so long, I just decided, you know what, I'll get him to finish it off. I'll give him 2 months. He'll finish it off, and then I'll just take it back no matter what. And I am pretty happy with it. But you can never get paint perfect. But anyone else has any experience, let me know. So that's where it's been. Of course, the wheels have also been done. These have been powder coated, and they look absolutely fantastic. Sorry for the brake dust. And you also have these, so you can get these decals from eBay. I've had my calipers painted black, and it also complements the lovely slotted and drilled discs from M-Tech in there. It just looks fantastic, especially when you catch a glimpse of that Rover logo through the spokes of the Serpent wheels. Just amazing, and in combination with those Pirellis, which have quite an aggressive sidewall and tread pattern, I think it just sets it off fantastic. But of course, there's also another thing that's been done, which you guys have probably already noticed, and that's the Smiley Plates. So big shout out to Matt, who provided me with these plates. Shout out to Rover Joe, as usual, but special shout out to him for designing this. So we couldn't find any Priory Motor Group stuff that showed, you know, the plates, etc. So we had these plates made with a mock-up that Joe had made. Brilliant stuff. I also found this cool ass keychain from Priory of Nottingham, which is where this car's from. So you guys obviously know the history of it. I detailed that in another video. So if you like that, go look at the playlist series on this car. It documents the entire journey. So here we are at last. Oh, one more thing. I probably covered this in the poll video, but you guys need to see it. Also, shout out Rituals, the best ever air fresheners for cars. We have the mighty driver's side cup holder, and of course you have the passenger side one. So we are cup holdered out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cup holders now. Would you class the inside of the rear armrest as 5, 6? Yeah, we'll say more cup holders than seats. We now have more cup holders than seats in this car, which is fantastic. So that's a bit of an update on it. So we've of course spent quite a bit of money on this thing over its 3 years, and I wanted to get into that now. So this isn't a general cost of ownership. I'll be doing that in a separate video because I'm hoping to compare this to something else. More on that, and there'll also be sort of what I term the final review of this car, like the final. I wouldn't say it's the last video. It's just sort of a major update of, you know, everything, and covering everything in extreme detail of obviously what's been done. I've got videos of those and everything, and comparing those before and after, and I've got installing the caps and all that jazz. It'll just be a fantastic video. But another thing, I'm also not exactly satisfied with this exhaust either. So you can see my exhaust is kind of crumbling a bit. All underneath of it looks fantastic, by the way, but that exhaust is crumbling, so I need a new one of them. So if anyone can point me in the direction of someone that does a good stainless steel one, cat back, let me know. That'd be fantastic, because I don't necessarily want it for the noise, I want it for the longevity, and I want it for the look as well. I'm contemplating cutting part of the bumper out, you know, to get that MGZT sort of 75 Sport sort of look. But again, not too sure at the minute. I kind of like how sort of anonymous the exhaust is at the back, except for when it, you know, decides to soot up my bumper, which is few and far between since Jamie and Arctic did their stuff on it. So anyway, now we're gonna move into the costs, and that is of course one of the scariest parts of this. So let's have a quick gander through how much this car has cost me. So I have a big itemised list which I might put on the screen, but we'll see. So, right, so of course we had the welding on this side in the repair, 250 quid, and then we had the Pirelli tyres, 548 quid for those. Then we had the engine work performed by Arctic, the intercooler O-rings, the PCV filter, EGR, etc. 250 quid. Big difference on that, by the way. It pulls so much better, because you haven't got that. Obviously, your intercooler is actually holding the boost and air in and all that jazz. You guys know what I mean anyway. I'm ill, so I'm allowed to get things wrong technically. Of course, we bought the new grille from Glenn. Reason being, I'm paranoid and I don't want to break a grille. We've also got the new auto box pipes and transmission service. If you guys remember, I broke down in an Asda and lost all my transmission fluid. That was £300, which is quite annoying. Of course, I didn't have any I don't really have any record of any service history with the car. I do have a bit, up to about 120 odd K. So yeah, about when I'd got it. So that's pretty good. But I had no record of the belts and tensioner, and of course, if you guys remember, it broke down because of that. And the new belts and tensioner was 360 quid. I replaced it with one of these uprated diesel ones that are way better than the usual ones that all the garages use, which are really cheap. So that should hopefully last a while. We also had, if we think about the interior, we had a new radio. So there's the current new radio anyway. We replaced the radio twice. Now we bought some Extrons thing, which broke. And then we bought there's a dog in that car. We bought the Erison one, which is perfect, has worked perfectly. It's actually lasted longer than the Extrons one. But in my opinion, they're all the same. So just some Android head unit with a new sticker stuck on. But of course, that's only my opinion for certain reasons. So we also had, we also bought an embossed wallet. Now I'll show you that. Just get in the car, give you a quick look. So this is from the really early cars. Now no one I think has managed to pinpoint when this was stopped, but here we are, the embossed wallet. It's literally just that. I was expecting it to have the little whatchamacallits on the side, but it doesn't have that. So that was, how much did I spend on that? I spent 50 quid. 50 quid on an embossed wallet. I also had my brakes done with those discs and pads from M-Tech. It was in need of some anyway, and I really wanted those. This has always been a dream since I was a young ass boy to have some drilled and slotted discs. So that's pretty cool, eh? So that was £180. Then what else do we have? Jeez Louise. The alarm sounder, that was 50 quid. If you remember, it didn't used to make an alarm sound. So if I open this door here, this is how your alarm should sound if I open it and lock it. It's really annoying. So it's quite an American sound actually. There you go. Won't lock and it just beeps at you. So that's 15 quid. That typically gets waterlogged under the scuttle panel. We also got a new steering wheel from Tom Force, which is this to replace the mismatched one. I really liked it at the start, the mismatched one, but then it kind of annoyed me, so I refurbished it. I got this one. It was really, really good condition, needed a light refurb, and here we are looking fantastic. We also got the bumper loom because it shredded the bumper loom on its way to Pride of Longbridge. That was 30 quid. Shout out Tom for hooking us up with that. We got the driver's side cup holder, which cost me, I ended up in a bidding war. I think it was with Lewis. Shout out Lewis for making me spend 56 quid on a cup holder. But I've always wanted one, so that's pretty cool. We got the locking wheel nuts. Believe it or not, this car did not come with locking wheel nuts when I bought it, so I've got it some locking wheel nuts finally, to protect the £340 powder coated wheels. So that's another expense on there. Of course, the respray the front, rear, 2 doors and the sill was £900, so that was pretty good. For that price, of course, we had to do it twice. I didn't pay twice though, because I would never do that. I get what I pay for, I guess. And then we got a 16 quid cabin filter in there. Why is that? Because it's an activated charcoal one, apparently, from Bosch. We've also got these Richbrook mats. If you're going to replace your OEM mats for show purposes, so an everyday, highly recommend Richbrook mats. 45 quid, well spent, matches the rest of the car, really well trimmed and really does go really well and sets it off inside. They're a bit too light for the aged sandstone interior, but to be honest with you, I think they look fabulous, especially with the nice leather binding on the ends. We also have the interior door handle. If you guys can remember, this door jammed a couple of months ago, and we needed to replace that interior door handle for that because I broke it like an idiot. So I replaced that, and that's all fine now. The engine bay black parts, so that's been listed a bit weirdly, but we'll open the engine bay so I can explain a bit. Open. God, I love this. This pre-project drive handle that decides to never come out when I'm recording a video. So here we are. Engine bay. So all of this, believe it or not, thank you Glenn for giving me that for free, really appreciate you. That cost that there, and that's 15 quid. They're off a M47 BMW, and now everything's black. That's usually orange, that's usually yellow, and that's usually blue. I really wanted that, and then you got that little poppy yellow in there for the dipstick. Right, we're almost done. Jacking pads for the driver's front and rear. I didn't have jacking pads on this side.
well, I had one on the back but not one on the front, so you'd get all detritus would build up in there, and then that's what rotted the seals out. That was 13 quid. New springs and top mount, so obviously that's from and a repair of the sill from the incident. It was only minor scratching underneath and a bit of a dent, but he basically hammered that out, so you can see that there. So that was 165, did me a good deal on that one. And then the new front wiring loom for the front bumper fitted was £95, because that took him a bit. And then I also had the front headlights polished as well, because I kind of got tired of, I did it myself and it looked awful. They're not really the best still, but yeah, there they are, looking fantastic. That was 20 quid. So there's some essential modifications in there as well, which didn't cost me any money. So we've got, oh, in fact, I think I've missed something off. Hold the phone. Oh, the BCU fitting and the map from Jamie, that was £60. So shout out Jamie. That's the BCU to allow you to do the lazy unlock and lock, so you can open the car and open all your windows and stuff and lock the car and do all that jazz. Oh no. And then we've also got this key, which, and it's just never ending. We've also just got this key as well, which cost me 60 quid, I think, 50 quid, something like that. So there's that. So yeah, that's about it. Now I'll put the total on the screen, because I then add it up now, because I'll be like 20 21, because, you know, not feeling the best. Of course, let's just have another look. Oh, air filter, pipe cross air filter, that was 50 quid. Oh, for crying out loud. So in the next video I'm hoping to do sort of a list of essential modifications, but that is essentially what I've spent on this car. But it's still not done, because you know what? I'm thinking about new brake lines, brake hoses, because I put some braided ones on the Cortina and they look really nice. But yeah, they're not really that great. So the reason why obviously all these brake hoses are rubber, it's not because manufacturers are cheap, well, part is. It's because obviously the flex of the bumpy potholes and all that jazz when you're driving, these braided ones, these incredibly stiff ones, wouldn't really be able to hold up to that in the long term. I've known of a few people that have had to replace them several times. And I'm looking at a new exhaust as well, so if anyone can recommend anyone, let me know. Just wouldn't mind replacing that, and I think it just comes out as one big pipe and then the back box. But yeah, so she's back, and I hope you're all very pleased to see her, because I definitely am. After driving around in the cars I've driven around in for the past couple of months, which aren't necessarily bad cars, you do kind of get a bit bored of it. But when you've driven something so exquisite and so amazing, you know, you do miss it, missing the good life of owning the Rover 75 and driving the Rover 75. So the next video is probably going to be a bit more of a summary of everything in a bit more detail, including sort of the essential driver's tips and owner's tips of these cars, as well as the number plates were 30 quid. I know, I'm going to add it up. I'll add it up at the end of the video, trust me. Well, I'll probably already put it on screen. I'll put it on screen now, yeah, we'll do that. So that's about it for this one. I know it's been a long, rambly one, but I'm so excited to get this back, and I know some of you guys as well are quite excited to see it, because she's back after all the drama. She's back. Of course, she attended Pride of Longbridge, my second ever Pride of Longbridge since 2019. Of course, the other ones were cancelled due to the event. And yeah, so that's about that, my friends. So I'll include, the next video is going to be a bit more of the next video on this car is probably going to be more of a inside scripted video, because I'd like to do a bit of a comparison. The next one after that will probably be, the one before that will be obviously all the stuff we've done and how much it's cost me to run and all that jazz, and whether or not it's worth it, including some essential drivers and owners tips and modifications you can do, because there's one that I've discovered that not many people know about, so stay tuned for that. So again, guys, thank you for watching. I don't know why I constantly choose Cockshot Lane, as you can see here. Cockshot Lane, guys. I don't know why the hell I always choose this lane. It's not even anywhere near where I am either. I come and I drive like 20, 30 miles just to get here so I can take a video. But gosh damn, that skyline looks good. So thank you everybody. Thank you for the support in the last video on this car. Thank you for just everything in general. Really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Keep watching. Remember to subscribe for more of this. Rover 75.